Michael was diagnosed with cancer when he was 10, and he died from cancer when he was 15. So he lived with cancer essentially 1/3 of his life. And throughout that entire time, he never gave up, right? He did what he had to do, usually with a smile on his face, often with a very playful attitude. He continued to work hard. He continued to go to school. He continued to stay in sports and try to make himself better at whatever he was engaged in. Before Michael was diagnosed with cancer, he was a competitive gymnast. One year he was the state pommel horse champion and second in all around in the state. But where he really shined when it came to gymnastics was in the competition that usually took place after gymnastics meets, which was the handstand competition. And after the meet, all the gymnasts would get called back on the floor, and they would call 1, 2, 3 handstand, and you'd have 40 pairs of feet dangling in the air. And throughout his gymnastics career, he never lost one handstand competition. And that was sort of the passion and the perseverance he brought to his athletics.
When I was thinking about Michael the other day, I was thinking, what is it that I would want to say about him? And what I came upon was his desire of limitlessness, I guess. There was this wall at their elementary school back in the day, well, it was like 7 years ago that he was in 4th grade and they got to climb this wall. So a lot of the kids could climb up a flat wall, but there's this overhang where you have to go out 90 degrees, up, out 90 degrees, and up, and then you reach the top. There was only maybe 1 or 2 kids per class that could do that. And of course, Michael and Bridget were those kids in their classes. And all the kids would stop and watch the kids that would even attempt the double overhang. Most of them would attempt and fall, but they knew if Michael got up there, that was gonna be a good show. So he would climb up that thing like, the monkey that he was. Well, then he got sick. And I was one of the moms always that was there to help on wall climbing day. And I'll never forget the day that Michael came back, bald, sick, better, but not the Michael that used to climb up that wall and, they used to time themselves, see how fast they could do it. And he wasn't gonna make it up there fast, but he was for sure gonna do everything he could to get back up that double overhang. And he got up there and he was, struggling, just struggling to get up there. And he wouldn't stop though, of course he wouldn't stop. So, I held my breath and his teacher held his breath, and a good friend of mine who was there, she held her breath, and the kids were all just chanting, "Mikey, Mikey, you can do it, Mikey, come on, Mikey, Mikey." I swear, I don't know what lifted him up, but after a couple of falls, he made the double overhang, of course, and rang that bell at the top. And I'm telling you, it was incredible. The kids went crazy, his coach went crazy, his teacher went crazy, and it was just epitome Michael.
Well, I think one of the main ways Michael was an inspiration to me was his continued commitment to sports even when he had cancer. And he cycled through track and baseball and basketball before he finally found one that sort of matched up to his physical capabilities. Even though he was so weakened by the cancer, he would always give his all working out, even when he was throwing up half an hour beforehand. And for me, as an athlete and as a student, to see the perseverance and the heart that he showed, even with such difficult, extraneous circumstances, it's really continued to be an inspiration for me.
He fought through everything, and he always had a smile on his face, and he always was just happy, no matter what his circumstances were. Of course, there were hard days and hard weeks, hard months, but he never really gave up. He always wanted to keep fighting and keep trying new sports, keep making new friends, doing everything he could just to make his life as happy as it could be.
He became very sensitive to other people struggling or suffering in small ways or in large ways in their lives. He got invested in a lot of things to help other people, particularly kids with cancer. It really had an impact on us as a family to witness this. And I think it also had an impact on others who witnessed Michael staying engaged in his life the way he did.